Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Hard Mode Fresh on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, it is time to do penultimate final boss stuff. We've been chasing her down, supposedly, for the past, hour. It's been closer to 45 minutes on the recording time, but I am looking at my inventory and realizing that I don't actually have, anything, any really good strength accessories. This isn't the best state for me to be in, honestly. But I am going to be showing off one of the gimmicks for this fight. Hey, Gremory.
I have you now.
Oh, the card master.
No, those are not cards. Those are sealing scrolls.
You just made your last mistake.
Oh, she's got twiddly fingers. No.
And so Zangetsu has gone to hell.
You may possess the blade now, but without him to wield it, it poses no real threat to me.
Oh yeah?
Wrong, demon. Zangetsu's worth and mine.
My doofy glasses beg to differ.
They do. My gauge goggles will tell me how much HP you have. Mwaha!
Very amusing, wench. I do not.
Oh, that's a low blow.
Seeing as I need your crystal.
Well, Miriam has been chased so far. That is uncalled for.
Wretched plans end here.
Baal, King of Kings, must be summoned. Prepare to be brought in line.
I think this is only the second or third time we've actually heard Baal actually get directly mentioned. But yeah, welcome to the Gremory fight. Now, one of the primary gimmicks about this fight specifically is that the Zangetsudo actually is guaranteed to deal critical damage to Gremory. It honestly is dealing about, 70, maybe 80-ish points of damage per strike here. And given that she has just 7,000 HP, that doesn't seem like it's all that much. But when you realize that, I've got a bunch of other passive damage going around, she's already almost half dead.
Almost. Starting off with 6,700 health points.
The big issues that I have with this fight aren't actually related to it being on hard mode. Although her attack pattern is slightly faster while she's on hard mode. Welcome to Phase 2 of Gremory, where now she has access to this particular attack, an upgraded version of Tis Rosane. Dodging this thing with Miriam can be a massive pain on hard mode because of all of the other crescent sides that she's got floating around.
Yeah, she's half dead. And you're 75% dead. Grabby hands.
Dodging the grabby hands is honestly one of the more important things that you need to figure out how to do in this fight. It took me a while to actually recognize that the yellow crescent sides that she shoots out, you can actually interact with. This is her super move. She just drops the fucking moon on you, and this is a move that she only has access to in hard mode.
Huh. Nice.
Need to keep.
Yeah.
No, I used the uni rice bowl. Damn it! I was supposed to keep
Not
that.
my cake. I'm getting some Paper Mario 2 vibes. Very Shadow Queen of this boss to extend a pool of hands to draw you into the abyss.
No, she's not drawing you into the abyss. She's sending you to hell.
What the hell is the abyss?
Oh, in Paper Mario case, but in this game, the hell and the abyss are two totally different things. And so we have successfully slain Gremory, and we've gotten Dimension Shift, our final mobility upgrade for the game.
It was a relatively short boss encounter.
Yeah, using the Zangetsudo as well as mostly maxed out Dola Head means that we're doing upwards of 200 damage a second. So it's her rather staggering HP pool isn't honestly all that staggering when it comes to 200 damage per second.
Yes. Save the game. We have used enough healing items. We're going to have to go pick up some more flour, butter, and baking soda and bring it to Johannes.
I forget if we can actually buy baking soda. I know we can buy flour and butter, but...
targets for me.
Here's what I've turned up on the monsters.
Huh, we still didn't actually go do the Sabnon quest. Kind of weird that we've held off on doing that. So, most of the rest of this part is prep work for the actual final boss.
Yay.
Because we just took down Gremory, I'm trying to see if we actually picked up the recipe book for... There it is, Eternal Brew. We need to make the DSRA, we need to get an Improved Fang, and we need 2 copies of Orichalcum. And the DSRA requires a Fiend Fang. I forget which enemy has the Fiend Fang. I think it's actually Demon Lord. But the Orichalcum specifically can only be dropped by the Great Axe Armor.
Dark matter.
I've learned the truth about your slumber, Miriam. As I suspected, it was Alfred's doing.
Oh, really
Why
now?
did Alfred choose me?
To create a catalyst capable of stopping time must have taken years upon years. He only had time to save one of you,
But why me then?
because you were the most attuned.
Attuned, you say?
Zangetsu said the same thing.
To put it a different way, if all the crystal of all the shardbinders had been brought together to create one big catalyst, then your power would have accounted for half of it.
Yeah, Miriam is the most powerful shardbinder in this universe, supposedly.
With half the catalyst's power missing, Alfred knew the experiment would fail. Blood would be spilled, but at least the world would have some chance of being able to stop
The world would be blood-stained,
Yes.
I'm afraid.
Power caused unthinkable tragedy.
Yes, it did.
But Alfred must have realized the experiment was going to proceed regardless of our objections, and decided...
This is a lot of exposition dump as a result of us exiting the shop screen. You'd think this guy would be more forthcoming and tell us all this before we went to diverting matters like working on our inventory and seeing recipes.
Hello, miss.
Hey, Anne.
No Dominique?
Oh, well, she said she had something to take care of.
I see.
Down the fort while she's gone.
Oh, good girl. But who will handle these shards for me?
Oh, well, don't worry. She taught me how to do it.
Why, Anne?
That sounds horribly unsafe.
Well, the one thing we learned about Dominique is that she's into doing things that are terribly unsafe.
Is this Kim?
Yeah, unsafe for the player. Ugh.
Unsafe for this little girl.
Alright, so I think we're going to be buying a bunch of these berry spaghettis. Yeah, there we go. We purchased a bunch of berry spaghettis.
I'm getting a lot of Bloodborne vibes from the way they describe these items. I know, a little late to the party. Like a little tongue-in-cheek at times.
Yes.
Like
a lot of the
Pebble.
food items specifically have you know, small jokes in them.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, like the dark matter that I saw. It looks like it's probably edible, but you eat it first. Let us know how it is, would you kindly?
Fun fact: if you eat dark matter, it just poisons you.
Oh. Well, that's an unsound suggestion.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be an unsound suggestion. It's dark matter, you know. The
Right, and there's no autosave. I get you. Yeah. So they wanted you to figure that out, realize, "Oh, I've been deceived. I'm going to reload my save file now."
No, because poison isn't actually all that big of a problem in this game, thankfully. All it really
Well, I'm sure
all it really does is give you a small DOT. And and if you decide to do it in a save room, you can just use the save room in order to heal your poison. So.
Well, that doesn't strike me as the correct usage of dark matter, so
It
enlighten
is
me.
not.
What-
Dark matter is in fact supposed to be used as a crafting reagent in order to make gold.
Ah,
You need, 50 dark matter and 10 of something else. I forget what it is. It might have been steel.
such is the way of cuisine, and that's why people typically take wasabi with raw tuna. because wasabi is an antimicrobial agent that destroys the bacteria in raw tuna.
No, we'll be back to this room much later on in the playthrough. Although, viewers might have been pointing out that I mentioned that Gremory was the penultimate boss fight. Yeah, we're gonna start final boss in this part.
Oh. Well, I mean, can you take a break from the final boss?
You can't take a break during the final boss, no, but we are definitely starting the final boss in this part.
Okay,
do I actually use this one for my farm? No. Okay, so I use the one with the vertical exit instead. All right.
Viewers can observe that this is our status, and this is how strong we need to be. We got a little work cut out for us.
All right. So now that we actually have dimension shift, we effectively no longer need reflector ray for literally anything. Especially
it's an upgraded reflector ray, yeah.
Because dimension shift allows us to fit through a majority of the areas that reflector ray was locking us from, and it also, is slightly cheaper to use.
I notice now that they put the doors at the very edge of the screen, so you don't have a place to stand in case you wanted to try dimension shifting through the door.
Although they tried that in order to avoid some specific bugs that were in Dawn of Sorrow, you can still do those bugs. Hey, Dominique.
You'd think you'd have a more wicked appearance by now. Yes, thank you. Much more appropriate.
You brought up a couple parts ago that eyes were really important. Well, this is why we didn't see Dominique's eye for the whole game.
So even Gremory has failed me. Alfred was afraid of what you could do with the shards, but not I.
Look at you. Is that what you wanted? The crystal?
My hat is much bigger than yours.
It is.
Dominique. Oh, don't think me ungrateful. I have you and Johannes to thank for teaching me the alchemist's lore and how to control the shards.
Why are you doing this?
Because we needed a twist villain, because Castlevania always has a twist villain.
Once again, God.
I got a feeling this is one of those dialogues that is most frequently skipped on retries.
Yes, it is.
So I began to wonder, what if there is no God? What if the Lord we grovel and pray before is a lie, and our faith draws power from some other nameless, unspeakable thing?
Well, I mean, I prefer Lucy over Yahweh, but I'm not supposed to say that out loud.
I decided to seek a higher power, the power to slay gods.
Do you realize how many people have died as a result?
Yes.
They deserve to die.
She's an evil bitch. We've come to realize this. It had to be learned first.
All I desire.
Sure thing, Sauron.
This whole mess wasn't enough for you?
If the last summoning had been enough, I wouldn't have had to bring you here.
You're after a more powerful demon. Sheeple's crystal wasn't enough to summon it, so you needed mine instead.
I'm also noting how basically Dominique is just dancing in place on the left side of the screen.
She's only barely gyrating. I mean, it's better than her being an actual statue, but just barely.
It's 100% narrative breaking to watch talking Dominique and then in-game model Dominique doing two completely different things. Not the first time we've observed this, mind you, but this is particularly noticeable.
I never expected to be put in a corner like this.
Well, I mean, you are in a corner, Dominique. You go a couple feet to the left. You are off screen.
I will use my crystal and the Libelogaiath to summon Baal, the ultimate demon.
I mean, Shadow, the ultimate hedgehog.
Do you realize what will happen to you?
Do you? You don't. So I'll tell you. There's a reason Jeeble survived 10 years ago.
Because of bloodline magic.
And there's a reason why he survived up to this point, is because of game over screens.
Like me. Our blood suppressed the crystal corruption and effectively spared his life. And now I have surpassed him. I command the crystal through Enochian script.
You see, that doesn't make sense to me because the crystals are specifically demonic power, whereas Enochian script is angelical language. So why would Enochian script have any effect on the crystals at all, Mr. Cloud?
Do you really think you can stop
And I am just swimming in lore babble right now.
Yep.
You don't understand what power is for. You wield it stupidly, arrogantly, and now you will pay the price.
Alright, time for one of my least
Let's fight.
favorite boss fights in the entire game. Welcome to Dominique. Now, Dominique on hard mode really only gets that floor blaze drop kick as additional attacks. But to compensate for it, her attack pattern is both significantly faster, and at Summon Ghost has the ability to delete on nearly all of your HP if she hits you with it. So yeah.
A lot of on-screen activity.
Yes, because we're on hard mode, Dominique gains additional missiles with every one of her spells. She moves around like somewhere between 20 and 50% faster. This is actually why we bought a bunch, for Dominique specifically, is why we bought a bunch of additional food to come into this fight, because I am not good at this fight.
Well, you're not going to need any healing items after the final boss encounter.
Right. So
go all in.
So yeah, spend your cash on healing items. Attempt to upgrade whatever shards you want to bring in for the final fight as best as you can. And yeah, I fucking hate this attack. She covers nearly the entire fucking ring in fire explosive zones, and it's attacks like that make me convinced that a majority of the playtesting for the bosses in this title were actually used with directed shield in mind, because there are specific attacks in the game that the player really doesn't have good answers for aside from directed shield.
Camera shifts are a little jarring.
We should be approaching phase 2 here shortly. Although we've already hit phase 2 for the Dominique fight itself. Yay! Okay, here we go. In the next episode, we take on Bale. Be safe, everybody.